accessories in your office. You have the fax machine, the printer, the phone, the file cabinet over here, file cabinet over here. You're moving around all day long, right? You need to be able to turn easily and just grab that, turn easily and grab that without twisting your whole body. You want the chair to do the twisting, not yourself. Okay? The wheels play a role in that as well. Okay? If you have a chair, a stationary chair like these, that's not going to make a good office chair, right? It's okay for tonight. It's just not going to work very well in your office. Okay, so posture. As a chiropractor, sometimes I get blamed for being the posture police, right? Stand up straight, sit up straight. Why doesn't it? I'm going to have everyone stand up right now. The best way to show this is to have everybody stand with correct posture, which means your head is going to be over your shoulders over your hips over your feet. Okay, that's going to be proper posture. You don't want to have your head forward. You don't want to be pushing your hips forward or anything like that. Shoulders too far back. With proper posture, sit down in your chair, keeping your head, your shoulders, and your hips lined up, like that. And that's the proper posture that you should be using. Okay. How many of you have that proper posture all day long? No one, right? No one. So now, the next thing when you're working tomorrow, you're going to be thinking, oh, the chiropractor said I got to be mindful of my posture. And I'm absolutely correct. The diagram here shows it pretty well. If you keep a 90-degree angle here to your hips, your body, hips, and legs, okay, you're going to have the correct posture. With correct posture, you're going to reduce the spinal stress, which is going to lead to the nerve stress. Okay, chiropractors are always talking about your nerves, right? If your head leans forward, puts pressure on the nerves in your neck. Okay, keeping your head over your shoulders like that is going to be a smart thing to do. I like this diagram quite a bit. X-rays and diagram. On the left here, we have the proper curve for a person's neck. When we look at it from the side. In the middle, we have a banana as an example, and that's what we want to see as a curve. But over here, how does this one look?
Straight or forward?
It's forward, actually. It bent forward, right? It started off straight right there, and then it got to this point and it bent forward instead of bending back. Okay? So we call that a reverse curve of the neck. And that's a bad situation because it puts pressure on the spinal cord, the spinal nerves, the muscles, all those things. Okay? A problem like this in the neck actually can affect everything throughout the body because the nerves that you have lower in the spinal cord have to travel through the neck anyways. Okay? So as a chiropractor, I'm always going to try to emphasize the neck. The neck is the most important area. Okay, so loss of the curve causes nerve dysfunction. So what are some things that we can use in addition to the desk and the chair? Okay, I mentioned a few of these already. Okay, this one right here is the tray that comes out from under the desk for your keyboard and for your mouse. You may have to use this if you're too short or your desk is too tall or something like that. The footrest here, that's a great idea, especially if you're a little bit too short. The ball chair, Kim sits on this all throughout the day. Have you guys seen her sitting on this up front? Yeah, and she really likes it. One of the jokes with the exercise ball as a chair is that if you're slouching, you're not going to slouch for long because you'll end up on the floor. So you really have to use good posture when you're sitting on one of these chairs, otherwise you're going to get hurt. And these chairs are great. Some people just sit on the exercise ball itself, okay? And that's fine too. What you're really going to be doing is giving yourself a good core workout. Your abdominals, hips, and stuff like that. Your lower back, all those muscles are going to get a real good workout in order for you to stay vertical on that ball chair.
What about the ergonomical keyboards where you just place your hands and they're they're spaced out? Where
instead of being like this, it's like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be okay.
And they're curved too. I worked on one that was like this, positioned like this, but it was curved. It wasn't flat.
Really?
It was really, really comfortable.
Was it? Okay.
You could just place your hands and type away.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I've seen the ones that are like this. I haven't seen the ones
that have a curve in it.
No.
Because it keeps your hand, like you had said.
Yeah.
It keeps your hand
extended.
Extended.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to look for one of those. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It's different at first.
Yeah.
It takes some getting used to a little bit.
It's probably a lot different than our keyboard on the old laptop, right?
Definitely.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna look into that. Headset. These are actually fairly common these days, especially if you're on the phone quite a bit and the computer at the same time. It avoids the whole neck to the side thing. Most people who do one of these things with their phone, trying to hold the phone and talk at the same time, going to develop a neck problem. You know, is it going to be next week, next year? I don't know, but it's going to be at some point. So the headset can be very valuable. And then the lumbar support, the low back cushion. Does anyone use one of these cushions? A couple people? Yeah. If your lower back is ever bothering you, you could also just grab a towel. Okay? Roll up a towel and put that back there for a little bit more support. Might be easier in the short term than trying to find a pillow that works for you. That's another good thing to use in the car. If you can't adapt to the seat in your car, use a lumbar support pillow, or you can use a towel, something like that. All right, you guys want to do some stretches?
Here.
All right. These are actually stretches you can do while you're seated, essentially. Bringing your arm across like this to the other shoulder. That's going to stretch out the back of your shoulder here a little bit. Do that on both sides. And I know this slide here says you should do this daily. I would say do this multiple times per day. You know, especially if you have a job where you're essentially sitting for 8 hours, you can be stretching. You can be stretching throughout the day. The other one is to stretch out across the top like this. Now stretch the back of the arm, the muscles that run down through this part here. Do that. That third one there is where you put your hands behind your back, kind of stretch out your shoulders, lean forward a little bit. Do a little turn, a little torso twist there. Yeah, a lot of things you can do just while you're sitting at your desk. It takes 20 seconds, 30 seconds maybe. But yeah, if you're sitting at your desk 8 hours a day, do these stretches often.
Especially hand ones for carpal tunnel.
Yeah, good ones for the wrist. You can do straight on like this.
Do like this.
Yeah, you can do one like that. Yeah. You can bring your hand up and under and grab like this. That's going to get a little bit different stretch. Okay. You can bring your hands down like this. That'll stretch out the back of the forearms there. All those types of things. Did you guys see that there? Yeah. So this one, this one, this one. So you get 3 for your wrists and your forearms. Yeah. If you ever feel like you're having trouble with your hands or your wrists, 2 real good exercises. Take a racquetball. You can use that as a squeezing ball. That'll strengthen your hand and strengthen your fingers and stuff. And then take a rubber band, put it around your fingers, and go out like this. Those are 2 good exercises you can use for your hands and your wrists, especially if you do a lot of taking. Okay, number 1 right up here is the YWTL stretch. Some of you probably have seen this before, but it's a good way to reverse the posture that is so common when we sit at the desk. Okay, so to start, you do Y, W, T, thumbs pointed back, L, dropping the elbows in. Okay, so if you look, this is the exact opposite posture of this. Okay, this is desk computer posture right here. Okay. Hands forward like this, head forward, shoulders forward. The exact opposite is like that. So do the YWTL stretch to basically undo the posture that most of us have when we're working on a computer. You see how that works? These other two stretches, this is a good one for the middle back. It's called the cat and the camel stretch. It stretches out the mid back.